ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थ विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरो अधीमहे पञ्चदशीं कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
पञ्चदशीं कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
My voice is clear, no?
Yes.
अद्य द्वैत विवेक प्रकरणस्य पञ्चदश्यां चतुर्थ प्रकरणस्य अध्यायस्य प्रकरणस्य द्वैत प्रकरणमिति प्रकरणस्य नाम। द्वैत प्रकरणस्य द्वैत प्रकरणं नाम अद्य प्रकरणस्य आरम्भं कुर्मः। द्वैत प्रकरणं द्वैत विवेक प्रकरणम् अथवा द्वैत प्रकरणं द्वैत विवेक प्रकरणं न तु द्वैत प्रकरणं। द्वैत विवेक यथा पंचकोश विवेकः पंचमहाभूत विवेकः तद्वत् द्वैत विवेक प्रकरणम्। द्वैतप्रपञ्चस्य विवेकः. All the Viveka Prakaranam, you see, all the Viveka Prakaranam, beginning from the first Viveka Prakaranam, which is Tattva Viveka Prakaranam, first chapter, then Panchamahabhuta Viveka Prakaranam, then Panchakosha Viveka Prakaranam, now Dvaita Viveka Prakaranam. All the Viveka Prakaranam, they are meant for distinguishing Brahma from Anatma, distinguishing Atma from Anatma. In the Pancha Kosha Viveka Prakaranam, Atma is distinguished from Panchakosha. In Pancha Mahabhuta Viveka Prakaranam, similarly there also, it is not to establish the Pancha Mahabhuta, but it is to understand distinctly what Atma is from the different, distinctly from Pancha Mahabhuta, to understand that what Atma is. Atma is Chitta, Chaitanyam, different from Panchakosha. Brahma is Sat, Satchit, Ananda, distinct from Pancha Mahabhuta. Similarly, here, Dvaita Prakaranam, that is Dvaita Viveka Prakaranam, is presented. Dvaita Vivekaha means Dvaita Vivekaha. Dvaita Dvayam Asti. There are two Dvaita. Dvaita iti yukte bhedaha. There are two. Subject, object. Subject and object. Everything is object. Can be referred to by idam. Atma, Anatma. Subject is Atma. Anything other than the subject is Anatma, object. Subject, object. Jiva Jagat. Jiva Jagat. Now, the Jagat, when it comes, there are two types of Jagat. Srishti. Ishvarena nirmitam Jagat. Dvaitam. Jivena nirmitam Jagat. That is also Dvaitam. Ishvarena nirmitam Jagat. Jivena nirmitam Jagat. Ishvara is Maya Upadi Sahita Chaitanyam. That is Ishvaraha. Maya Upadikam Yatu Chaitanyam Yatu Brahma Tat Saha Ishvaraha. Jivaha is Avidya Upadi Parichinna Chaitanyam. Jivaha. Ishvarena, this Jagat Nirmitam Panchabhutatmakam Idam Jagat Ishvarena Nirmitam. For what purpose? Kimartam Nirmitam. Jivasya Atva Jivanam Karma Upabhoghaya. In order to exhaust the karma of the jivas, Ishvara has created this Jagat. That is one Jagat. Another Jagat is, another world is created by Jiva itself. It's created by Jiva. Yata Swapne Jivaha, Jivena, Srishtam, Jagat Bhavati Tadvat. Therefore, there are two types of Dvaitam. Ishvara Nirmita Dvaitam, Jivena Nirmitam Dvaitam. Ishvara Srishti, otherwise we can say Ishvara Srishti, Jiva Srishti. Ishvarasya Srishtihi Mayamayi. Jivasya srishtihi is Manomayi. One Dvaitam is Ishvara Srishtam. That is Mayamayi, Ishvara Srishtihi. Another Dvaitam is Jiva Srishtam, Jivena Srishtam. The Ishvara Srishtam, that is Manomayi, Jiva Srishtihi. So Ishvara Srishtam Jagat and Jiva Srishtam Jagat, both are what? Dvaitam. But here we have to do Viveka. Ishvara Srishtam Jagat Bandhakaran na bhavati. Because it being what it is, the Jagat which is created by Ishvara, that you cannot give up also. Tyaktum na shakyate. Jivena. Ishvarena nirmitam dvaitam jagat kenapi jivena tyaktum na shakyate. Because that is the Jagat in which jivas are born, jivas, they exhaust their karma. Kintu the Jagat which is Bandha Karanam, which is Jiva Srishtam, Jiva Nirmitam Jagat Dvaitam, Tat Tyaktum Shaknoti. Tyaktum Shakyate. Jiva Srishta Jagat is created by the Jiva, subjective world. Ishvara Srishta Jagat is, which is created objective world. So for two types of worlds in which the Jiva lives. One is a world which is created by Ishvara, which cannot be given up, which cannot be modified because it is given. Like the Shariram, the body is given. Similarly, this Jagat is given. Everything is given. Panchabhutas are given. Vayu is given. Agni is given. Prana is given. Vayu is a prana is given. Everything is given. But what about the Jiva Srishti, which is created by the Jiva, which is the world which is woven by the mind of the Jiva? That alone is Bandha Karanam. So therefore, we need to do the Viveka here. Both are Dvaitam, but between these two, the Viveka to be done. That is the topic of this chapter. It's a beautiful chapter. This chapter has got 69 shlokas. Dvaitam is Mithya. That we have seen. Advaitam Satyam. Dvaitam is Mithya. Dvaitam is Mithya. Why should we do Viveka? Because it is to ascertain very clearly which Dvaitam is the cause of samsara. What is the Dvaitam? Which Dvaitam among these two? Which causes samsara? Because we don't have any say over Ishvara Srishtam Jagata. That cannot be the cause for samsara. It doesn't bind because it being what it is. Among the two Dvaitam, one is the Bandha Hetu. That alone we have to distinctly understand, and that alone can be given up also. One Dvaitam created by us because of ignorance, wrong notion. Therefore, we have to do Viveka. Jiva Srishtam Jagat Bandhakaram na bhavati. Sorry, Ishvara Srishtam Jagat Bandhakaram na bhavati. Jiva Srishtam Jagat alone, Samsara Karanam is the cause for samsara, Bandha Hetu. Ishvara Srishtam Jagat is not the cause for samsara. In fact, it is Anandakaram. The creation is perfect by itself. Sampurnam. Sampurnam Jagat Nandavanam Eva. Sarve api kalpadrumaha iti. So therefore, that Jagat cannot be the cause for samsara, cannot be the cause for bandha hetu. Therefore, we have to distinctly understand Jiva Srishtam Dvaitam and Jiva Ishvara Srishta Dvaitam. Though the Jagat is given, it is Srishtam by the Lord Ishvara, but this Jagat is colored by the Jiva, by the mind of the Jiva. Ragadvesha colors this Jagat. The world being what it is, objective, but it is colored by Jiva, it is made more subjective. Subjectiveness is brought in by the Jiva. Therefore, in the subjective world, Jiva lives and Jiva suffers. Therefore, this Jagat is different from Ishvara system Jagat. The world being, the Srishti being what it is, but I live in the world which is created by me. My response to the world is subjective world. I respond to my subjective world, not to the objective world, because it being what it is. There is no defect, there is no fault. In fact, it is Anandakaram. But I have created my own world. Therefore, my response is from the subjective world standpoint. That what creates samsara. That is why we say, that's why Puja Swamiji always used to say, bring in Ishvara, more and more Ishvara. It means you minimize your projections on the world. See that it as Ishvara. So bring in more and more Ishvara. Try to see Ishvara in everything. Try to see what Ishvara has created. Try to appreciate what Ishvara has created. Don't bring in your projections. That is what bringing in bringing Ishvara into one's life. Because we use our goggles, our goggles are colored. Doesn't see the world, doesn't see the Srishti created by the Lord as it is. Therefore, we have to remove this goggle, the colored goggles. We have to remove this Ragadvesha goggle and to appreciate the world as it is. That is done by Viveka. So that is the topic. Viveka. Ishwar nirmitam, this Dvaitam Jagat, it is fine as it is. Kenapi tyaktum na shakyate. Whereas Jiva Srishti is, that can be given up. That alone is the cause for samsara bandha hetuhu. So therefore, since that is bandha hetuhu, that alone should be given up. Ishvara Srishti na bandha hetuhu. So that cannot be given up. May not be given up. It cannot give it up. It cannot give up. Because that is given. That is a setup which is given for, it's made for the Jiva to exhaust their karma. So Jiva wanted, therefore Ishvara created. So Srishtikarta is Ishvara, is very objective, doesn't have any ragadvesha, therefore created Jagat in order to exhaust the karma, in order for the Jiva to exhaust their karmas. While exhausting karmas, Jiva earns karma also, and Jiva lives in his own world. So therefore, that Dvaitam which is created by Jiva, that is the problem, that is the cause of samsara. Therefore, we have to do Viveka. Among the two Dvaitam, which Dvaitam is the problem, is the cause for samsara? That which is the cause of samsara can be given up. That should be given up. That is the topic. That is why Viveka is Dvaita Dvaita Viveka. So two Dvaitams are there. Therefore, distinctly understand the two Dvaitams. One Dvaitam is Ishvara system, that being fine what it is. Another Dvaitam created by Jiva, that is a Bandha Hetu. So therefore, understanding that, giving up. That is a Viveka here. Distinctly understanding the Dvaitam, and that Dvaitam which creates samsara, that is should be given up. Understanding only you can give up. That is why this Viveka is important. That is why every Prakranam is Viveka Prakranam. Now Dvaita Viveka Prakranam. And as we saw before, every chapter is a text book. Every Prakranam is a Grantha, separate, can be treated as a separate Grantha, separate Prakrana Grantha, separate book. One book at last chapter we saw, it has 43 shlokas. A Grantha, it's a Prakrana Grantha. Panchakosha Viveka Prakrana Grantha. Similarly, Panchamahabhuta Viveka Grantha. Similarly, here now, Dvaita Viveka Prakrana Grantha. It is a Prakranam. So, more of Mananam and understanding very clearly Shravanam as well as Mananam and Nididhyasanam too. So, it's a Prasada Grantha. It's complete by itself. Shravanam. Then Mananam, whatever the doubts are there, the doubt is cleared by in the form of asking questions and then answering it and making the knowledge very clear. To study Panchadasi, in fact, we should have studied many Upanishads, but doesn't matter. Even with the background of 3 or 4 Upanishads, the Grantha can be studied. Same thing with Vedanta Sara also. Vedanta Sara is studied after studying all the Upanishads, Nishkarmi Siddhi, Upadesha Sagasri, and Brahma Sutra, in fact. But we did. Similarly, this also can be done. Why I'm saying this? Because the first shloka itself is quoting from a Rig Veda. First, the second shloka, we'll see. It's quoting from the third shloka. Second shloka also is quoting from Upanishad, Shvetashvatara Upanishad. The third shloka is quoting from Aitareya Upanishad, Rig Veda. So both the Upanishads, they are not studied. That doesn't matter. The idea is same. Therefore, with that background, we can approach the Grantha. Dvaita Viveka Prakarana Grantaha. Now let us read the first shloka. ईश्वरेणापि जीवेन सृष्टं द्वैतं विविच्यते
ईश्वरेणापि जीवेन सृष्टं द्वैतं विविच्यते
विवेके सति जीवेन हेयो बन्धस्फुटी भवेत्
विवेके सति जीवेन हेयो बन्धस्फुटी भवेत्
विविच्यते विवेचनं क्रियते पृथक्करणम् is vivechanam. Distinctly make it distinct. But here in terms of understanding, distinctly understanding, vivichyate, vivechanam kriyate, vivichyate. What vivichyate? Asya jagataha karanam kim iti jigyasayam, the jigyasa asti gnatum ichcha. And there are jagat there is jagat which is Ishvarena system, Ishvarena, Paramatmana, Srishtam, Dvaitam doesn't use the word Jagat. Dvaitam, Dvaitam meaning this Jagat. So Ishvarena Srishtam Dvaitam, Ishvarena Api Srishtam Dvaitam, Jivena Srishtam Dvaitam. Therefore, Ishvarena Api Jivena, Ishvarena and Jivena Cha Api. Srishtam Dvaitam, this Jagat which is Srishtam, Vivichyate, Vivechanam Kriyate. Maya Upadikaha Ishvaraha, Tena Ishvarena, Dvaitam Srishtam. Kimartam Jivasya Bhogartam, Jivasya Bhogartam. That is the Karanam. Why Ishvara created a Jagat? Ishvara created a Jagat for the Jiva to experience, to exhaust the karma. That is why this Bhoga Sadhanam, Bhoga Ayatanam, all this. Then, Evam Sati, Ishvarena Kim Srishtam, Jivena Kim Srishtam, Ishvarena Srishtam Jagat, Jivena Kim Srishtam. By Jiva, what is Srishtam? Jivena Srishtam Jagat Astiva. Ishvara is created the Jagat for exhausting, for the karma, for the exhaustion of the karma pala. That is understandable. But Jivena Srishtam, yes, that is also is there. That is why Viveka is required, understanding the Dvaitam. Jivena Eyaha Bandaha Viveke Sati. Jivena Eyaha Bandaha Sputi Bhavet. The author will say this the world is now this it is the Dvaitam is of two. This in fact the Dvaitam what we say Drik and Drishya. In other words, Drik is the subject, Drishya is the object, Drishtam. Because Drik and Drishtam are there, therefore there is transaction, Dvaitam, multiplicity, duality. This is a Drishya Prapancha. So Drik, the subject, the seer, and Drishya, what is seen, the object, the world, therefore Dvaitam. Who created this for the Drik? Here in the sense the Jiva, who interacts with the world, the Drishya Prapancha. Therefore, there is Drik Drishya, Dvaitam is there, who created Srij. Srij is to create. Srishtam, created. Ishvarena, Srishtam. Ishvarena, Srishtam, Dvaitam. That is one Dvaitam. One Dvaitam created by the Lord. Another type of Dvaitam, Jivena Srishtam. Another type of Dvaitam is Jivena Srishtam. Two Dvaitams are there. Therefore, Vivechanam is required. Distinct analysis and understanding. By saying Vivichyate, the author says the Vivechanam, the capacity to discern and distinctly understand have to be developed. Because there is mixed up. Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti both are mixed up. By whom? By Jiva. Ishvara Srishtam Jagat, it is fine, it is created, the Jagat for the exhaustion of the karma pala of the Jivas. That is fine being what it is. Jivena api Srishtam Dvaitam Asti. Because both are Dvaitam, this Dvaitam is mixed up. Since they are mixed up, therefore they have to be distinctly understood. And Jiva, Ishvara Srishtam, Natu Eyaha, cannot be Ishvara Srishtam Dvaitam na Eyam. That cannot be given up. Tyaktum Shaknoti cannot be. Eyaha means to be given up. Oha Tyage. From the Dhatu is derived. Eyaha, third conjugation. Yat Prataya. Because that which gives bondage, that which is the cause of bondage, that should be given up. Can be given up, should be given up. How? Viveke sati. Viveke sati jivena eyaha bandhaha sputi bhavet. By doing vivechanam, viveka, eyaha bandhaha, the bandha which is the bondage which is should be given up because that is the source of problem, source of samsara. By viveka, that becomes clear. Therefore, by viveka, knowing that should be dropped. Heyaha, yat pratyaya, heyaha. When viveka sati, when viveka arises, heyaha bandhaha sputi bhavet, that should be given becomes very clear. What should be given up? Not Ishvara Srishtam Jagat. Ishvara, Ishvarena Srishtam Dvaitam. That cannot be given up. Ishvara Srishtam Dvaita Natu Ayam. Ayam is Hana Yogyam, which is Yogya, which deserves to be given up. Ishvara Srishtam Dvaitam cannot be given up. It cannot be negated because it is there. Even Jnani also, after Jnanam, does he give up the Ishvara Srishtam Dvaitam? He continues to live, he continues to do karma, the Sharira Sityartham, for the Sharira to exhaust the prarabdha. Jnani, even after Jnanam, he continues to live in which word? Isvara Shishta Dvaitam. In fact, Jnani enjoys the Ishvara system Dvaitam because there is no Jiva system Dvaitam. That is due to Ajnanam, that is gone. Therefore, for Jnani, the whole Jagat, the Dvaitam which is created by the Lord is wonderful. It is Leela. He enjoys, in fact. Therefore, what should be shunned, what should be given up is Jiva system Dvaitam. Therefore, one has to do Viveka to give up the cause of Bandha. Yeyaha Bandhaha. Bandhaha is Yeyaha. Bandhaha, that which is the Bandha Hetuhu, that is Yeyaha, that should be given up. So, therefore, the author now will discuss both the Dvaitam, but he will start with Ishvara Srishtam Jagat and then Jiva Srishta Jagat Dvaitam. Both Dvaitam to be understood first, and then only this, which is the Bandha, that can be given up. And author here itself, in the beginning itself, he has told Jivena Srishtam Dvaitam is Heyam, Bandhakaranat, Bandhakaranakatvat. By Viveka, that becomes clear. Therefore, Sputi Bhavet becomes clear. Therefore, should be given up. That is the goal. Distinctly having understood both the Dvaitam and that Dvaitam, which is Bandhakaranam, should be given up. Becomes clear, therefore, it is given up. Now, before that, Ishvara system Jagat, what is that? The Dvaitam, what is that? That should be understood. Then Jiva system Dvaitam, what is that? That also to be understood. Without knowing what it is, then which one to take up, which one to give up. Kim Upadayaha, Kim Eyaha. So therefore, the author will discuss Ishvara Srishtam Jagat Dvaitam from the second shloka up to 13th shloka. From the second shloka to 13th shloka is Ishvara Srishtam Jagat. That is the topic. Dvaita Pariksha is done. This Dvaita Pariksha it is not Kakadanta Pariksha. It is not a useless Pariksha. Some people say it is like Kakadanta Pariksha, it is Nishprayojanam. No, it is Saprayojanam. It has got Prayojanam. The Prayojanam alone comes under Anubandha Chatushtaya. Because understanding Ishvara Srishti when we understand Ishvara, then that is not the cause of bondage, because that Dvaitam, Ishvara Sishta Dvaitam, Jiva Sishta Dvaitam, both are mixed up. Therefore, Jiva attributes a problem to the Jagat, Ishvara system Jagat. That is wrong. Unless we do Viveka, then how do we understand? Therefore, the Viveka, therefore the understanding of Ishvara system, the Dvaitam, that is Dvaita Pariksha is worth doing. It is worthwhile. It is Saprayojanam. It is not Nishprayojanam. So, Prayojanatvat. Therefore, Ishvara system, Dvaitam, is first discussed. From the second shloka to 13th shloka. Now, for this shloka, let us read the Tika. Tikakara considers every prakaram to be a grantha. Therefore, he does Mangala Charanam in fact. Ata Dvaita Viveka Vyakyanam starts. Dvaita Viveka Vyakya. Dvaitasya Vivekaha, Dvaita Vivekasya Vyakya. Natva Shri Bharati Tirtha Vidyaranya Munishwaro Maya Dvaita Vivekasya Kriyate Padayojana. Padayojana literally means grammatical construction of the word. Of course, here also we do the author does the Vyakyanam, the Tikakara does the Vyakyanam. So therefore, understanding the words, construction of the words, and also the words in the shloka, how they are connected, the meaning of in that context. That is what is the Vyakyanam is. So all Vichara is involved. Mimamsa is involved. Understanding the meaning of the words and how the words fit in the context, relationship between the words, the sentence, and therefore we understand the Tatparya of the shloka. So therefore, the Tikakara says, Maya Dvaita Vivekasya Padayojana Kriyate. Chikirishitasya Grantasya Nishpratyuha Paripurnaya Abhilashita Devata Tattva Anusmarana Lakshana Mangalam Acharan Asya Vedanta Prakaranatvat Shastriyam Eva Anubandha Chatushtayam Siddhavat Kritya Grantharambam Pratijanite. The author Grantharambam Karoti. How the Grantha which is Chikirsha Kartumicha Chikirsha. Chikirshi Taprataya. The Grantha which is desired to be done, desired to be written, desired to be created. Chikirsha. Chikirshi Grantasya. Grantha is the object. Therefore, Chikirshita Tapratya. Chikirsha is Kartumicha. What? The Grantha. Therefore, Chikirshita. Grantha which is desired to be written by the author. Nishpratyuha Paripurnaya. And there could be many obstacles, obstructions, impediments. Therefore, without that, completely. Abhilashita Devata Tattva Anusmarana Lakshanam Mangalacharan. So, Ishta Devata, Abhilashita Devata, thus Devatayaha Tattvam Anusmaran, remembering the Lord. Anusmarana Lakshanam, that is Mangalacharanam, is remembering the Ishta Devata. Or Tattva Anusmaranam. Abhilashita Devata Tattva Anusmarana. Tattva Anusmaranam, remembering the Tattvam. And Abhilashita Devatayaha Tattvam, Devata Tattvam. Devata Tattva Anusmarana Lakshana. Mangalacharanam in the form of remembering the Tattvam of the Devata, Abhilashita Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata is not different from Brahma. Therefore, if I say Vedanta Prakaranam, Shastriyam, this Vedanta Prakarana is Shastriya. Shastriya Shastra Sambandhi eva. Therefore, whatever Anubandha Chatushtaya is there for Vedanta, that also is there for same Siddhavati Kritya Anubandha, same Anubandha Chatushtaya. Why author says Anubandha Chatushtaya and all in between? Now this is a separate Grantha, looked upon as a Grantha, separate Grantha. Therefore, when it is separate Grantha, then we have to talk about Anubandha Chatushtaya, Sadhana Chatushtaya, all those things. Therefore, Anubandha Chatushtayam Siddhavat Kritya. It is Siddhavat. Prakana Granthatvat, Shastriyatvat, Shastriyameva. This Grantha is. Shastra Sambandhiyeva, Shruti Sambandhiyeva. Therefore, Grantha Arambam Pratijayate. In the beginning itself, the author declares Ishwarena iti. Because no Grantha should be studied without invoking the Lord. The Granthakara must invoke the Lord. And the reader also must invoke the Lord and then commence the study of the Shastram. And author, the Granthakara himself therefore will dedicate a shloka, a Mangala Charanam. So here also it is done by the word Ishwarena, taking the name of the Lord. Why the author has intelligently put Ishwarena? Why not Jivena? He's not invoking the Jiva. He's invoking the Lord, Ishvara. Just by saying Ishwarena, by placing the word Ishvara as the first word in the shloka. Ishvara, the Lord is remembered. That becomes the Mangalacharanam. The word itself becomes Mangalacharanam. That's why Ishvarena iti Grantanambam Pratijanite Grantakaraha. Iti Tikakara says, Ishvarena, who is Ishvara? Karana Upadi Kena. Antaryamina. Is Antaryavi. He is Karana Upadi Kena. Is Maya Upadika Ishvara. Maya Upadi Sagita Brahma, that is Ishvara. And is Antaryami. Then Jivena api, by Jiva also. Ishvara is Karana Upadi. Maya is the Karanam. Therefore, Ishvara is the Upadi, which is Karana Upadi. Maya Upadi. Jiva has got the Upadi, the Sharira, Antakarana Upadi. That is Karya Upadi. So, that is why Karana Upadi is not a problem, not Bandha Hetu. Karya Upadi only, because Karya is projected. In fact, Jiva Karya Upadi, that is Manaha. Manaha being what it is. It doesn't do projection, then it is not a problem. It does. That is how the mind is. Therefore, Jivena api, Jiva system Jagat, for that, the Karanam is Manaha, mind, Upadi. So Jivena, and Upadi is Karya Upadi. Jivena api Karya Upadi kena, Aham Pratyayina, Aham iti, Aham Ahankaraha. In Ishvara Ahankara, everything is included. In Jiva, Aham is this small I. Aham Pratyayina cha, this Srishtam, this Utpaditam, this created, what? This Dvaitam, that is the Jagat. Dvaitam Jagat, Vivichyate. Vivichyate is Vibhajya Pradrashyate, distinctly, separately. Vibhajya, having separated, divided, having separated. Pradashyate, it is shown. Asya Dvaita Vivechanasya Kakadanta Parikshavat Nishprayojanatvam Varayati Vivekaha iti. It is not useless like the Kakadanta Pariksha. Kakadanta Pariksha is whether a crow has got a teeth or not. It's a useless Pariksha. Like that, it is not a useless thing. Nishprayojanatvam Nivarayati Varayati. It removes that by saying Viveka iti. Viveka is involved. Therefore, Kakadanta Parikshavat Nishprayojanam na asya Dvaita Vivechanasya. Therefore, it says Viveke Sati by Viveke Sati Sati Saptami. Jiveshwara Srishtayoho Dvaitayoho Vivechane Krite Sati. That is what Viveka Sati. Viveka Sati is equal to Viveka between what? Jivas Jagat and Ishvara Jagat. Jiva Srishta Jagat, Ishvara Srishta Jagat. Tayogo Dvaita Vivechane Krite Sati. When Dvaita Vivechanam is done of these two Dvaita, that is two Srishti, Jiva Srishti and Ishvara Srishti, which are Dvaitas, two Dvaitams. Jivena Purvoktanaha Jivena, Purvoktena, Purvoktene Jivena. Heyaha Parityajyaha. That Jagata is, the Dvaitam is, Jivena, Purvoktena Jivena, Heyaha Parityajya should be given up. That deserved to be given up. Parityajya, Tyaga, Heya, Yogyaha, Bandhaha. Bandhetuhu Dvaitam. Because it is Bandhetuhu, Bandhetutvat Bandhaha. That becomes Putiva way, that becomes very clear. Spashtatam Gachet. Spashtatam Gachet means that becomes very clear. Etavat Jivena Heyam iti Ischiyate. Jivena Srishtam Jagat is Heyam iti Ischiyate. That is Nischayate without any doubt. It is concluded Jivena Srishtam Jagat is the Samsara Bandha Karanam. Therefore, Heyam iti Nischiyate. Nischayam Kriyate. Nischayena Nischiyate is that which is firmly concluded. What should be given up? Jivena Srishtam Jagat Heyam iti. Vivechanat Nischiyate. Vibhajya तदृश्यते द्वैतविवेचनस्य तेन जीवनसृष्टं जगत् हेयमिति निश्चीयते इति अर्थः. That is the meaning. Then the second shloka, here the author he quotes from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. The very famous quote. An Upanishad also, a beautiful Upanishad. Let us read the shloka. माया तु प्रकृतिं विद्यान् मायिनं तु महेश्वरम्
मायां तु प्रकृतिं विद्यान्मायिनं तु महेश्वरम्
समायी सृजतीत्याहुश्वेताश्वतरशाखिनः
समायि सृजतीत्याहुः श्वेताश्वतरशाखिनः
माया तु प्रकृतिं विद्यात् विद्यात् मायिनं तु महेश्वरं विद्यात् become vidyan because of sandhi. Arunasiko va. Vidyat become vidyan. Maya tu prakritim vidyat. Ling lakara. Iti shruyate kutra in the Shvetashvatara Ishvaraha shruyate. Maya tu prakritim vidyam mayinam tu maheshwaram iti. So, Maya is prakritim and mayinam is maheshwaraha. Maya prakritihi iti vidyat. Mayinam Mageshwaram iti vidyat. Samayi srijati. Srijati iti agugu. Iti Shvetashvatara Shakinaha. So, Ishvara Srishtam Dvaitam, that is taken up. The first Dvaita, the first Dvaitam, which is Ishvara Srishtam Dvaitam, Ishvara Srishtam Jagat is taken up. This Jagat Srishtam by Ishvara is known. Jagat as Srishtam by Ishvara. Jagat as Srishtam, it is Srishtam by Ishvara. How do we say it is Ishvara? How do you know it? What is the pramanam to say this Jagat is Ishvara Srishtam? So Brahma himself cannot create. Brahma itself cannot create. There must be Maya. Without Maya, Brahma cannot create. Maya is the Parinami Padana Karam. See, Brahma itself cannot create this Jagat. Like Gata. Gata itself, that like pot from the clay, from the mirta, pot, it cannot come by itself. Pot cannot come by itself. There must be a pot maker. Pot maker must be there, and there must be the pot also. Similarly, here also we have Brahma and Maya. Maya is the Parinami Padana Karanam. Brahma is the Nimitta Karanam. That's why we said Abhinna Nimitta Padana Karanam, because Maya is not separate from Brahma. Therefore, we say Abhinna Nimitta Padana Karanam. Nimitta Karanam as well as Upadana Karanam. So Jagataha Parinami Upadana Karanam Sa Maya iti Uchyate. Now, how do we know all those things? This Jagat is created by Ishvara. How do we know? What is a Pramanam? Do we have any Paurishaya Pramanam to say that Ishvara created this world by Pratyaksha, by Hanumana, by Arthapati, by Hanapalabdi, by any other Upamana, by any other? Is it possible to know Ishvara created this Jagat? No. Only by Shastram alone we know. Only Shastra Pramanam can prove that. There is no other Pramanam. Therefore, only the author, Granthakaraha Vidyanandamani, quotes from the Shastram. You see how appropriately he quotes. Doesn't simply say this Jagat is created by Ishvara as though it is a fact known to all, available for Pramana, Paurusha Pramana. No. He quotes from the Shastram. Otherwise, how do we know? The author takes to the course of Vedanta Vakya, Upanishad Vakya, which is a Pramana. So it becomes more significant quoting from the Shastra. Why? Because there are other Darshanikas, like Nayayikas, by they give logic to prove Ishvara. They give logic. See, the problem is the logic has no access to Ishvara. Shankaracharya, in fact, he demolishes all these things in Brahma Sutra. And he says Shastram is the only Pramanam. Therefore, only we take recourse to Shabda Pramanam, Shastra Pramanam. If Ishvara is the cause, so Shastram says Ishvara is the cause. Logic has no access to the cause. We can apply logic, or logic can say logic have access only to the effect. The Jagat, which is the effect, for that we can have our logic. That is why in the Jagat, in the system Jagat, there are many things, many facts which are provable by logic. Because Jagat is the effect. And logic has applicability to the effect, but not to the cause of the Jagat. Why? Because the cause is Indriya Atitam, where Jagat is Drishyam, available for your perception. Therefore, you can apply your logic to prove the facts, prove the facts of this Srishti, the Srishti Jagat, facts in the facts of the world. But you cannot apply that logic to the cause which is above Indriya. Indriya Atita Vishaya it is. Logic can have access only to Indriya Vishaya. The Jagat is available for your perception. It is Drishyam. Therefore, you can apply logic. You can apply Anumana. You can apply Arthapati. Because logic has basis in Pratyaksha. The Jagat is Pratyaksha. It is Karyatvat, Drishyatvat. Karyatvat, Drishyatvat, it is available for Pratyaksha, the Pramana. But what about the Karanam, Ishvara, which is beyond Pratyaksha? Therefore, logic have no access to it. Ishvara is not accessible by logic. Ishvara cannot be arrived by independent logic, we say. What is meant by independent logic? It means logic in keeping with the Shruti, logic blessed by Shruti can have access to Ishvara, but not independent logic. In Shastram also the logic is there. That is Shruti Sammata Tarka. That is why we say Dustarka Sviramyatam. Shrutimata Sarkat Anusandhiyatam. Logic in keeping the Shastram, with that logic, Ishvara is accessible, but not by Dustarka. So therefore, logic which doesn't have the support of the Shruti is Dustarka. Logic which has the support of the Shruti is, that is Sustarka, Sutarka, Sustarka, Tarka in keeping with the. This is Shushka Tarka, Shushka logic, dry logic. So therefore, here the author quotes, therefore has to, yes, therefore he quotes. There is no other way. He quotes from the Shruti. And the Shruti is Shveta Shvatara Upanishad that belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. So that he quotes, saying Maya to Prakriti Vidya, Mayinam to Mageshwaram. So this Maya and Maya is a Prakriti. And Mayinam, Mayi, Mayin Shabda, Mayi, Mayino, Mayinaha. So Mayinam is Dvitya Bhakti. Mayinam, Maheshwaram. Prakriti, the word Prakriti also. Prakarshena Kriti Yogyatvat Prakriti. Prakarshena Kriti Yogyatvat, it is, that's why it's called Prakriti. It is Parinami Upadana Kalam Prakriti Maya Prakarshena Kriti Yogyatvat. It has the Yogyatvam, the eligibility, the capacity to be, to create this Jagat, with, not independently, because Maya doesn't exist independently. Maya Brahmani Vartate Eva. Therefore, Maya Sagita Brahma is Mahi Maheshwaraha iti uchyate. That is why we say Maheshwaraha. Sa Mayi, Saha Mayi. Saha Mayi, he is a Mayi. He is a Mahi Maheshwaraha Srujati iti Agugu. What this Jagat? Iti Shveta Shvatara Shakinaha. Now, so, this Mahi, the Maheshwara created this Jagat means. This as a Jagat has come out from nothing. As a Jagat come out from nothing, from out of nothing, this as this Jagat come, no. This Jagat was, the Jagat is in the potential form, or was in the potential form before Srishti. It is in the unmanifest form before Srishti. There are Asat Karyavadis who says this Jagat has come out from nothing. That is from Shunya. So Shunya, this Jagat has come. Iti Asat Karyavadis, they say. But nothing can come out from nothing. From nothing, what will come? Nothing will come. So we don't accept that from Shunya this Jagat has come. Asat Karyavadi say from Shunya this Jagat, the entire thing comes out. We don't accept that. It is illogical. From nothing, we don't see nothing coming out from nothing. Therefore, this Jagat is there means it must have been there in potential form, in unmanifest form before. Therefore, we are Satkaryavadis. We don't see the Karya till it comes out from the Karanam. Therefore, it was there in the unmanifest form, not available for our perception, not available for eyes to see. It must have been there in potential form, in unmanifest form, before Srishti. That is why we see it is manifestation and unmanifestation. The Srishti is an unmanifest stage before creation. After creation comes a manifest form. That is Satkaryavada. So it is not that Srishti has come from Abhava. Everything is Bhava. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhava vidyate sataha. How can from Abhava this Jagat can come? So that is not possible. This Jagat must have been there in unmanifest form before. That Maya, the Prakriti in unmanifest form before. That manifest. From unmanifest, manifest Jagat comes. The unmanifest form of the world is what is called unmanifest form of the Jagat is called is Maya, Prakriti, the cause. That alone is comes in the form of the manifest world, blessed by Brahma. Therefore, the cause, the seed is Maya. It is the fundamental matter that alone now available for shaping into this universe, into Jagat. But it cannot become by itself. Therefore, there must be Mayi. Mayam to Prakritim Vidyam. There must be Mayi, Mayinam to Maheshwaram. Ishvara is called Mai because Maya is under the control, under the Vasha of Mayi. Therefore, blessed by Ishvara, Mayinam, Maheshwaram, Vidyat. This Maya manifest, unmanifest Maya manifests in the form of Jagat. Prakriti is Maya, Ishvara is Mayi. He brings about this world with the help of the Maya. And there is a shloka, again the same from the same Upanishad, Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Asman Mayi Srijate Vishwametat. Same Upanishad. Asman Mayi Srijate Vishwametat. Asman Mayi. He says Mayi means that is the Brahma which is along with the Maya Upadi. Because Nirupadika Brahmana Jagat Srishtihi na bhavati. Therefore, Maya Shaktya Visishtam Brahma. Maya Shaktya Visishta Brahmana eva Jagat Srijyate. So therefore, Srijati. Second line also from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad only. Mayi Srijate Vishwam Etat. Saha Mayi Vishwam Etat Vishwam Srijati. Iti. Iti Shvetashvatara Shakinaha. Shvetashvatara Shakinaha. Shakin is a Shabda. Shaki, Shakino, Shakina. Shaki means recension. So Saha Mayi Sujati iti Agugu, that Shvetashvatara Shaki. Shvetashvatara, as I said, belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. Therefore, those who study the Shaka, Shakin, so they say, that is Upanishad say, Ishvaraha Sujati. Ishvarena Sashtam Dvaitam, this Jagat Asti. Ishvara created the world. Ishvara created the world. Therefore, in Gita also we have seen Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi Suyache Sacharacharamiti. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. By under my supervision, this Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam, this Sacharatmakam Jagat Prakritihi Suyate. Therefore, Maya is Upadana Karanam. And Mayi, the Ishvara, is Nimitta Karanam. So Maya itself cannot evolve into this Jagat. Clay itself cannot become pot. There must be Ishvara. So with the Ishvara, blessed by Ishvara, the Maya, unmanifest Maya, becomes manifest Jagat. The Shvetashvatara Shakinaha, the, the recension, the Shaki means recensions. Shakinaha means those who study. Adhyetaraha ityartaha, those who study. Knowers of Shvetashvatara Upanishad say so. Iti. Now the Tika with that we'll read and then the full stop. Nanu नन्वदृष्टद्वारा ननु अदृष्टद्वारा जीवानां जगत् हेतुत्वं वादिनः वर्णयन्ति अतः कथम सृष्टवत्वम् ईश्वर सृष्टत्वम् उच्यते जगत् इति आशंक्य बहुश्रुति विरोधात् न इदं चोद्यम् उत्थापयितुम् अर्हति इति अभिप्रेत्य श्वेताश्वतरवाक्यं तावदर्थः पठति. सो अदृष्टद्वारा न जीवानाम् एव जगत् हेतुत्वं वादिनः वर्णयन्ति. So this jagatah hetutvam, cause of the jagat is jivanam, for the jivas jagat hetutvam adrishtadvara vadinaha varnayanti. Vadinaha, those who argue, vadinaha adrishtadvara, that which is not seen. So jivanam jagat hetutvam vadinaha varnayanti. This jagat srishti is adrishta, not seen. Because you don't see who created this jagat. So jagat etutvam adrishtadvara iti vadinaha varnayanti. People argue adrishtam because they don't believe in the shastra pramanam. Therefore, they have only other pramanam, paurusheya pramanam. With that they try to say we don't see Ishvara creating the jagat. Therefore katam how Ishvara srishtatvam uchyate. How do you say this is jagat is created by Ishvara? Jagat ईश्वर सृष्टत्वम् उच्यते इति आशंक्य बहुश्रुति विरोधात् न इदं चोद्यम् उत्थापयितुम् अर्हति इति अभिप्रेत्य बहुश्रुति विरोधात् न इदं चोद्यम्. So it is Shruti Virodha. What Shruti Virodha? That is to say that this Jagat has got no cause. Because cause cannot be seen. Therefore, it is not there. Iti Chodyam, the Prashna, the question, the objection, Uttapayitum, Argati iti abhipretya, therefore Shvetashvatara Vakyam Tavadattaha Patati. Therefore the author reads the line of Shvetashvatara Vakya as it is. For that purpose, Tavat Artataha Patati. Mayam ittu iti. Maya upadikam Ishwaram prastutya asman mayi sujate. Having presented Maya upadika Ishvara as the karta, srishtikarta. Asman mayi sujate. This jagat is mayi sujate. Vishwamidam, that is from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Mayi sujate Vishwam etaditi tasya Ishvarasya jagat srishtritvam. The Jagat has got the Srishtikarta, Ishvara is a Srishtikarta. Iti Shvetashvatara Shakinaha Varnayanti. Shvetashvatara Shakinaha Varnayanti. They tell that is who, those who study Shvetashvatara Shaka, they say, that is those who are Astika, they say Jagat Karta is Ishvaraha iti. Jagat Srishtatvam Ishvarasya. The status of being the creator of the Jagat belongs to Ishvara alone. It is Adrishta, therefore, Jivanam Jagat Etutvam Vadinaha Varnayanti Katam. Therefore, those who object, those who do not accept Shastra Brahmana, they question how Ishvara enjoys the status of being the Jagat. Katam Srishtatvam Uchyate Ishvarasya. That is how the Purva Pakshi, that is how the author, Tikakara, begins the shloka by raising an objection. Nanu adrishtadvara jivanam eva jagat edutvam vadinaha. Vadinaha is nastika vadinaha, nayayikaha, they varnayanti. How you say Ishvara? Because they don't accept. They try to prove everything by logic. Ishvara is not seen. Therefore, how do you say? For that we say, no, Shastram is there. श्वेताश्वतरशाकिनः वर्णयन्ति किं वर्णयन्ति जगतः जगत्सृष्टत्वम् ईश्वरस्य इति वर्णयन्ति. How do we say? Shastram says that being a pramana, Ishvara cannot be proved by logic. Shastram says, therefore, it is Shruti Pramanena Jagasrishtatvam Jagasrishtatvam Ishwarasya iti Varnayanti. Shvetashvatara Shakinaha. Next sloka we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್ಜಿ.
Dhanyavadaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ